You hear the term AI thrown around constantly, right? It feels like this huge, confusing, complicated landscape. So what we're going to do here is build a guide together. A really clear, simple map to help us navigate the entire world of artificial intelligence, from its classic roots all the way to the absolute cutting edge. You ready? Let's dive in.
And look, it's a great question. AI is what powers your Netflix recommendations, it helps doctors spot diseases, and it can even write a poem. But how can one single thing do all that? Well, the truth is, it can't. These are all very different kinds of AI. To really get it, we need to draw out the family tree.
Okay, every single AI system, and I mean every single one, starts right here at this massive fork in the road. This is the big one, the most important distinction on our entire map. Does the machine follow a precise set of instructions written by a human, or does it figure out the instructions all by itself?
So let's break down those two paths. On one side, you've got rule-based AI. You can think of it as a really sophisticated if this, then that checklist. On the other side, machine learning. This is where we don't give the system the rules. Instead, we just show it tons and tons of data, and it learns to spot the patterns on its own. If you remember just one thing, make it this. One is programmed, the other is trained.
All right, first stop on our tour, let's head down that path of logic. This is the OG, the classic foundational way of thinking about artificial intelligence, where the whole goal was to basically write down human knowledge and decision-making as a set of instructions a computer could follow.
So what is it, really? Well, the easiest way to think about it is like a super obedient, but also super literal assistant. A human expert literally writes out the entire playbook. If you see condition A, then you do action X. If you see condition B, do Y. For problems where the rules are clear and don't change, it's fantastic.
And this world isn't just one thing. You've got a few key flavors. You've got your basic if-then rules, right? Those are the simple building blocks. You scale that idea way up, and you get what are called expert systems, designed to act like a human expert in, say, medicine or finance. And then you have knowledge graphs, which are all about organizing information and how things relate to each other. This is part of what powers a lot of search engines. Okay, let's circle back to that big fork in the road, because now we're going to take the other path, the path of discovery. And folks, this is where things get really interesting. This is where most of the AI revolution you hear about is happening. Welcome to the world of machine learning.
So here's the complete flip. Unlike that first path, we don't tell the machine how to do its job. We just show it a ton of examples and let it figure out the patterns for itself. And that learning part is everything. It's not a static program. It literally gets smarter the more data it sees.
Now, the most common type of machine learning is something called supervised learning, and honestly, the idea behind it is super simple. Think of it exactly like teaching a toddler with flashcards. You show the AI thousands of pictures that you've labeled cat, and thousands more that are labeled not a cat. After a while, it starts to get the underlying pattern of catness, so it can spot a cat in a brand new photo it's never seen before.
And what do we use this for? Well, it usually boils down to two main jobs. First up is regression. That's a fancy word for predicting a number, like trying to forecast the price of a house based on its features. The second is classification, which is all about sticking a label on something, like looking at an email and deciding, is this spam or not spam? Okay, so learning with labeled flashcards is one way, but it's not the only way. There's also unsupervised learning. This is where you just give the AI a mountain of data with no labels and just say, find something interesting in here. It's great for things like finding natural customer groups. Then there's reinforcement learning. This is how you train an AI to play chess or a video game. It learns by just playing. It tries stuff out, and it gets a little digital reward for a good move and a penalty for a bad one, learning through trial and error.
All right, take a look at our map now. It's starting to get pretty filled in, right? Well, deep inside that machine learning territory, there's a special zone that has just changed everything. We're going deeper now, into the territory of deep learning.
Now, to be super clear, deep learning isn't separate from machine learning. It's a powerful part of it. Its secret sauce is something called a neural network, which is, you guessed it, loosely inspired by the web of neurons in our own brains. By stacking these neurons into many layers, making the network deep, it can learn incredibly subtle and complex patterns from messy, unstructured data like raw images or text.
And just like a good mechanic has different wrenches, there are different types of these networks for different jobs. You have convolutional neural networks, or CNNs. They're the absolute masters of images. Recurrent neural networks, RNNs, are built for sequences, like words in a sentence. And then there are transformers. Okay, if you're going to remember one name from this section, make it this one. This architecture is the absolute engine behind the AI that's blowing everyone's minds today, all because of how it understands context.
Okay, deep breath. We've come a long way, right? From simple rules, through the different styles of machine learning, all the way into these brain-inspired networks. And that journey brings us right here, to the absolute cutting edge of our map, to the tech that is making headlines literally every single day.
So let's step across that line into the new frontier. This is the land of generative AI. It's a whole category that's built on top of deep learning, but it has this one mind-blowing new ability.
Okay, here's the fundamental shift. Everything we've talked about up to this point has been about predicting things or classifying things that already exist. Generative AI is all about creating something brand new. It's a total shift from an analytical AI to a creative one. It doesn't just find the cat in the picture. It can dream up a whole new photorealistic cat that has never ever existed.
And this creative superpower isn't just for one thing. We're talking about generating completely new text, breathtaking images and art, super realistic audio and human speech, and even entire video clips, all from just a simple prompt.
And of course, the absolute rock star of the generative AI world, the one you've definitely heard of, is the large language model, or LLM for short. This is the magic behind tools like ChatGPT.
I mean, these things are just incredible masters of language, capable of generating text that is spooky good. But their power actually goes way beyond that. They're showing these surprising emergent abilities in reasoning through really complex problems, and even spitting out working computer code.
All right, I know that was a whirlwind tour, so let's just pull back for a second and take one last look at the entire map we've sketched out, just to see how all these pieces fit together. Remember where we started? That very first fork in the road, the world of AI that follows rules versus the world of AI that learns them. From there, we journeyed into the main paths of machine learning: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. We then went even deeper into that specialized, brain-inspired world of deep learning. And finally, we arrived right here, at the very edge of the map, generative AI, where machines don't just analyze, they actually create. So there you have it. You now have a mental map to make sense of the headlines, to cut through the hype, and to really understand what people are talking about when they say AI. This framework gives you the power to place any new AI development into context. The only question left is, with this map in your hand, where do you think this technology is going to take us next?